When you know that you are queer, but your favorite drink is beer, that's gayish. You can bottom without stopping, but you can't stand going shopping, that's gayish. Oh, gayish, you're probably gayish. Well, life's just too short for narrow stereotypes, so it's gayish. We're also gayish. It's Gayish with Mike and Kyle.
Hello, everyone in the podcast universe. This is Gayish.
The podcast that dunks its junk in funky spunk.
Oh, sometimes. If you're lucky.
If he's cute.
I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Getz.
And we're here to bridge the gap between sexuality and actuality. And today, at a gay bar.
That was season 1.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah. We're going to talk about circuit
We're
parties.
going to talk about circuit parties. They're like parties in a circle.
But electrified.
Yeah. But first.
But first.
Back in the studio, Kyle.
What's going on, Mike? How you feeling? How you doing?
Fine. This is we've been saying it all morning doing the planning for the show because we have our business meetings right before we record that like I'm going to be home a total of 4 days in October.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to enjoy this moment with you.
Oh,
because we're going to be virtual for the rest of the month.
Yeah, we're going to be virtual. I'm not trying to enjoy this moment with you.
Okay, then let's move on.
I'm trying to get through it.
Great.
JK, I can be in this moment. What do I see? What do I feel? What do I hear?
From this moment. Is that on the list? Because now it has to be.
Now it is.
All right. Here's the news.
Shut your mouth hole. It's time for your ear holes. News.
Yeah, let's get right to it.
I don't know, Kyle. Sometimes I feel bad when the news is like 90 seconds in. Like, people who don't like the news didn't get very much show before they skipped it.
Oh, we can do more show before. Hey, this is still the pre-news.
No, that ship has sailed, Kyle.
Okay.
We already played the song.
Well, I decide that.
You did play the song, though.
Yeah. I did.
FYI. News the first. So a study came out. Well, it's not really a study, though, is it? Because it was on SurveyMonkey. Anyway, there's a survey of SurveyMonkey people that just came out that showed that apparently people in the United States are very, very torn about the question of whether teachers should be allowed to use a student's chosen name and pronouns.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it was a collaboration between the 19th and SurveyMonkey, and they polled 20,000 adults, and 4 in 10 Americans believe teachers should be allowed to use a student's chosen name that aligns with their current gender identity without informing the student's parents, according to the survey's findings. So they're conflating a few things, and that's why it's like clearly not scientific, but only 40% of people said a teacher should be allowed to use a kid's chosen name and pronouns without having to out them to their parents if it's different than what's on their birth certificate.
Right.
Which that seems like a whole bunch of steps. So I feel less bad than the clickbaity thing of like only 4 in 10 Americans approve gender affirming pronoun use.
Okay. You think there's a lot of conditions on that that's making it so okay.
Of course, younger adults are more on board. Adults aged 18 to 34 said 49% of them backed that. Only 36% of adults aged 35 to 64. And then surprisingly, though, better than the 35 to 64 range, those 65 and over, it was 40%.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's up with my age demographic?
And mine, too.
Huh.
Explain yourselves, older millennials and Gen Xers.
Explain ourselves, us. Okay. If this was not about trans people, if someone was using their middle name or someone just said to you, I'm a boy, like this would not be an issue.
Right.
It's so frustrating because no one's going to be like, oh, you're going by your middle name, not your first name. I got to go tell your parents to make sure you're allowed to do that. Like, it doesn't. It's just because it's trans issues.
Right. Well, it is also the law in several places, which is just fucking infuriating and terrifying.
Yeah.
In Arkansas, for instance, teachers require parental approval to use a student's pronouns or name if it doesn't align with their birth certificate.
Are they checking birth certificates?
Apparently so.
The teacher does not have all the birth certificates on hand of all the kids. Mike.
Are you sure?
They don't. No, the teachers aren't looking at birth certificates.
Oh, sure, but yeah, that's true. You're right.
Yeah.
The school has them though, certainly. I would think some form of identification.
I don't know. I don't know how going to school works. I thought you just kind of push your kid in the door and say, "Deal with it, loser. Have fun."
Yeah. Dr. Angela Cade Gepford of the Children's Minnesota Gender Health Program told The Advocate that there is a misconception that medical care for transgender young people involves secret conversations behind parents' backs or kids who are seen and immediately prescribed puberty blockers and hormones. Extremists also claim that doctors are performing gender confirmation surgeries on children when, in reality, none of those things are the case.
Right.
And so it's just created this weird, like, your school is trying to trans your kids behind your back. Be worried about that. And then people get all like parental rights. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
People are just so fucking stupid when it comes to their children.
You
Jesus Christ.
Earn your kid's trust. If your kid isn't telling you shit, that's on you. That's not on the school.
Right.
You need to get a better relationship with your child then.
Well, and if you are no child of mine is going to be trans, your kid's probably going to kill themselves.
Yeah.
So like that's on you also.
Yeah.
So like get your shit together.
Get your shit together.
It might save your kid's life.
Yep. In this moment with you, Mike. We're in this moment here in the studio.
Oh, God. Okay. News the second. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Another new study that is reporting that the use of AI technologies in schools is posing a risk to LGBTQ students and could infringe on their rights. So this was released on Wednesday, the 20th of September last week. And researchers found that tech used to block explicit adult content and flag students at risk of self-harm or harming others are putting already vulnerable students at risk, particularly those who are LGBTQ+, disabled, or students of color. So basically, they're using AI technology in some places in schools to determine if the browsing history of a person at the fucking library indicates that they are potentially suicidal or other risk factors.
Yeah.
But that is overwhelmingly flagging students of color, disabled students, and queer students, and then, depending on the jurisdiction, causing them to be outed. Right? Because then the school calls the parents and is like, our AI internet babysitter says that Timmy is gay.
My God.
What are we going to do about it?
Can you imagine, like, you go to school because you're probably you don't want to search on it at home where someone may look at your laptop. So you go to school to try to search for things and try to get information. And even that's not safe.
Yep.
Where do you go if you can't go to the library at school?
Yep. Absolutely.
I guess you just use your phone.
The Center for Democracy and Technology polled 1,029 students from 9th to 12th grade, 1,018 parents of 6th to 12th grade students, and 1,005 teachers of 6th to 12th grade students, and found that almost 30% of queer students reported that either themselves or another student had been outed as queer.
Wow, a third of students reported that? Damn.
Of queer students.
Right.
Yeah. And
that's a lot.
And half of all queer students said that they or another pupil had been disciplined for doing something online, only compared to 39% of straight students. 9 in 10 teachers said that they are using AI monitoring technology of some kind on school devices.
Wow. I had no idea they were doing that.
And 4 in 10 teachers also said their school monitors their students' personal devices.
What?
This monitoring takes place both in and outside school hours, with 38% of teachers reporting that they monitor out of school time. I don't know how that's possible unless I don't know. Like, you have to install this spyware on your phone because you're my student. I don't know how any of that works. But that seems pretty fucking stupid if you ask me.
Bit of an overreach.
Yeah, a bit of an overreach. Anyway, it's really scary. And I think that there's a lot of concern that is well-founded that AI is going to do the wrong thing, right? Large language models are trained on the internet, which is fucking racist and homophobic and ableist, and that therefore LLMs are going to inherently be racist, homophobic, and ableist. And so I don't know, like it's a real danger, right? Like the world is built for white people, and if AI, white able-bodied Christian people, and if AI is catering to them at the expense of other groups, it's just going to perpetuate all of the shitty problems that we've already experienced in life.
Yeah.
So
we need a gay version of the movie Her.
Yeah.
I guess it'd just be called Him.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that it's almost happening to me on Grindr already.
You're falling for some bots.
There's so many bots out there, and they're getting better, like not great, but better at like seeming human.
And they're very handsome.
They're all, yeah.
They're all in the military and need money.
They are. Yep, that's true. And they all work in crypto. Anyway, sorry, kids. Just I don't know. Hang in there. I don't know what I have. I have nothing.
You don't have to. You just have to report the news. You don't have to give them advice on how to deal with it.
Well, that's true. News the third.
Great.
The state of California has signed, the governor has signed 4 pieces of legislation that are aimed at strengthening protections and providing better support for queer youth in California.
Oh, great.
The measures include AB 5, which sets out implementation timelines for queer cultural competency training by public school teachers and staff.
Oh.
The establishment of an advisory task force to identify queer pupil needs across the state. That's SB 857. And AB 223, which requires any petition for a minor to change their sex markers to be kept confidential by the court.
Oh, so kind of opposites.
Yeah. As well as this, SB 407 directs the Department of Social Services to amend the foster care vetting process to make sure that queer youth in the foster system are not placed in anti-queer foster homes. This law will offer better protections for extremely vulnerable queer young people in the state. Gavin Newsom, who is just kind of a daddy, really, signed those bills right after he vetoed a piece of legislation that would make parents' affirmation of their child's gender a factor in child custody hearings.
That seems like it could go both ways.
It seems like it could go both ways.
Depending on the judge yeah.
Yep. The governor said that he chose not to sign that bill because courts in the state are already required to consider a child's health, safety, and welfare when determining the best interests of a child in these proceedings, and that includes a parent's affirmation of their child's gender.
Oh, yeah, the affirmation of gender is part of healthcare for your trans kid, so you should be required to follow medical guidelines or recommendations.
Yep. I think that this kind of thing is going to continue to get worse and worse. Us left coast states are going to continue to do the right thing, be on the right side of history. And I think that red states are going to keep digging their heels in, using trans people as a wedge issue and erode queer rights as much as they possibly can, because that's easier to spoon feed to your sheeple, I guess, than anything else.
Yeah. But I wonder if after the presidential election, if it's going to die down a little bit. I wonder if a lot of this is to get your name out there during the election.
Yeah, possible. I'm not going to hold my breath though.
Yeah. There's no reason to have hope,
because it also depends on who wins, right? If Biden wins, I think it gets worse. I don't think they just go like, oh well, we lost,
oh no,
and stop. Right?
Yeah.
We'll see. Anyway, thanks, California. I hope that your legislation trends rub off on states like Nevada and Idaho that are pretty close to you and shitty.
Yeah, California, rub off on people near you.
Yeah, just come all over their faces with your legislation jizz. That's the news.
Speaking of people I want to rub off,
have come on your face.
Thanks to the following Patreon members who support us by going to patreon.com/Gayish podcast. Thank you to Troy. Oh, Troy.
Just
Troy. No. Nope. There's another name here. And Troy knew when Troy signed up that this was Schermerhorn.
Schermerhorn?
That's Schermerhorn. I think that's it.
Schermerhorn.
Schermerhorn.
Can I see it?
Yeah, how would you say that? Oh, fancy pronunciation name guy.
I would say Schermerhorn.
Right? This is the last time you double check my work, asshole. Randy.
We both know that's not true.
I know, nor should it be. Randy Soldinger. Fuck. Elijah Michael. I'm falling apart. I don't know how I'm going to go on with this episode. Elijah Michael Schweikert. And here, I'm going to give you this. Schweikert?
Schweikert.
Yeah. And
maybe Schweikert, but it's probably
Schweikert.
Schweikert.
And Huck the Rigger.
Huck the Rigger.
Thank you to our Patreon members. If you want to support us by directly giving us money, then get our Venmos. If you want indirectly give us money, go to patreon.com/Gayish podcast.
Yep. And we'll take it.
And we'll take it. Good. So good.
You want to talk about circuit parties?
Let's talk about circuit parties.
Let's talk about circuit parties.
Let's talk about parties that circuit.
So this was a Patreon vote. I have been victorious again.
Yes, you as per usual. Most months you tend to win the Patreon vote.
Which, when I wrote it down, I didn't realize how popular it was going to be. I really thought that maybe it was going to be close. The three choices this month were circuit parties, employee resource groups, and the third one, film festivals.
Film festivals. I knew film festivals wasn't going to be it, but
yeah. It's interesting to me that, like, as boring and corporate as ERGs sound, that like film festivals are worse.
Yeah, we're going to do employee resource groups for our bonus Patreon episode.
This month,
So join Patreon for that. And we have like 40 some odd other episodes if you're caught up on Gayish and want more episodes to listen to.
Yeah, fucking Dan used to keep track of how many hours of Patreon content there was, and we stopped.
We didn't do that. It's probably a lot, though.
It's probably a lot.
It's at least 45 hours of bonus episodes.
Easy.
Yeah. This was also a survey request. Circuit Parties was also a survey request.
Great.
So that's where it was on the idea list from that survey. So whoever sent this in the survey, thanks so much for doing that. Now we have to talk about it.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about it.
So here we go. We're talking about
circuit parties. Okay, I'm a little bit worried.
Okay.
That I have a personal sort of, I guess, negative opinion of circuit parties, and I'm afraid of offending people that go to them because they are very popular.
They are super popular, and like hot popular people go to them.
Yeah.
So like these are the people.
They're not listening to us anyway.
That's
fine.
true. They're listening to cooler podcasts like The Read.
I'm going to talk to you about the history of circuit parties, though.
Okay.
What do you know about the history of circuit parties?
Nothing.
You didn't read any of it?
Nope. I avoided all data on it.
If you had to guess, what decade would you think was the first one?
70s.
The 1970s. Good work, Kyle.
Yeah, a point for me.
A point for Kyle. Ding. We can't afford a real bell.
We can't afford a bell, so we have to do our own sound effects.
Yeah. So the roots of circuit parties were in what were called disco parties, starting in the 1970s, and I can only imagine how many disco songs they must have played.
Oh my God.
They lasted only one night, and were held in larger venues in big cities, primarily in New York. That's really where they got their start, but other metros also, San Francisco, Los Angeles, etc. And but the first set of like theme-centered gay parties were started by this place called The Saint in the East Village in 1980. So The Saint, they had a dome-covered dance floor. That they had a dome suspended in midair over the dance floor with a planetarium mechanism that projected stars into the dome over the dance floor. And they did it every weekend starting in September. And then that got bigger and bigger as a thing. And so it kind of reminds me a little bit of like fetish night at Cece's.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like once a month, the first Saturday of the month is going to be gear night up there. And it's just turned into a bigger and bigger thing. And they like rearrange the furniture, like do it. So that's how circuit parties really got started, was like by having special themed nights like that. Let's see. So there was another circuit party that was started by a guy named Corbett Reynolds. He was in...
That's my dog's name.
Oh. Is it Corbett?
Corbett. My dog Corbett. No, Reynolds. That's my dog's name.
Corbett. I bet his name is Corbett, but it's spelled Corbett. Corbett Reynolds.
Sure.
Columbus, Ohio-based artist, nightclub owner in the late 70s, and he wanted to have, quote, a one-night party to end all parties, and wanted it to be designed around the theme color of red, and started calling it the Red Party.
Ooh, I've heard of this.
Yeah, a lot of circuit parties are just a color.
Yeah.
Don't really know why.
Yeah, the theme is just a color.
And now the Red Party that you're thinking of, where everybody wears the red dresses, dress party, is not this. And I mean, it might be like the spiritual successor of this, but the Red Party died when Mr. Reynolds died.
Oh, Mike, you can't laugh at that.
All right. He's dead. Whatever.
What's he going to say about it?
On the 25th anniversary of the Red Party, the theme of which was to have been Rome, Mr. Reynolds died, and the people in charge of his estate decided to retire the concept. So,
yeah, it's like, hey, here's this party. Do you want to plan it now? Like, no.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
No. But they are incredibly profitable, which I thought was really, really interesting.
Really?
There are even cities that sort of have embraced the big circuit parties, like White Party in Palm Springs. They, for a long time, fought it, and then they elected a gay mayor, and now suddenly they're realizing, like, there's actually millions of dollars of revenue into the tourist industry here.
All it takes is a gay mayor to turn your city around. Everyone elect gay mayors.
Right. Elect gay mayors. They're great.
They're great. They'll celebrate circuit parties.
Except ours wasn't so great.
Oh, yeah.
As you might recall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So circuit parties went through a sort of a transformation, understandably, when AIDS started rearing its ugly head on our community. The parties sort of pivoted to becoming like benefit parties, like we're going to raise money for this thing that's happening. But then also just being a period of fear, there was a lot of judgment and stigma associated with sex and queer promiscuity, drug use. All of this sort of, I guess, tainted the image of what was just like a get together and dance kind of a vibe.
Yeah.
Let's see. In the early 90s, so HIV AIDS, we learned a lot more about how it's transmitted, and we learned about treatment options. We didn't have PrEP yet, but things were getting better in that space. That's really when the modern day circuit party got started, and they just started getting bigger and bigger, like trying to outdo each other. So promoters would turn events from one party into like a series of parties at various venues nearby, so that you would have like a 3-day or longer party.
God, that sounds exhausting.
I know it sounds exhausting. I've heard more than once that like that's why Tina is so popular at circuit parties, because you got to be on something to make it through all this shit. In the 90s, the circuit party scene was, this is from the New York Times, was fueled by ecstasy, much as the rest of the club scene was. Now it's GHB and methamphetamine, better known as crystal meth or Tina. Not only does crystal meth give revelers the stamina to stay up for 3 days without a nap, it can also enable marathon and often unprotected sex sessions. And in fact, a lot of gay men's health organizations have stopped sponsoring circuit parties because they fear that it looks like they're endorsing drug use. So the like association between circuit party equals drugs is very firmly like ensconced.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if that's a good venue to promote safe sex, or I wonder if those were venues to promote information about AIDS and prevention and all that. Like that would be a good time and place to educate people on it.
Yeah, they certainly could be. There's I'll get to that in just a second. While I'm thinking about it, the reason that they're called circuit parties is that it is like a circuit at a gym. So
that's what's gayer than circuit party, the fact that it's based on a gym term.
Yeah, the New York Times said that let's see, although the parties were initially run by nightclubs or nonprofit health organizations, professional promoters saw an opportunity to turn them into money-making all-weekend events. Gay men began referring to the far-flung events as the circuit after circuit training routines at the gym. One example was you do a pool party from noon to 5, a tea dance from 5 to 9, a main event from 9 to 4 a.m., and after-hours party from 4 a.m. until noon, and that's when the next pool party starts. So,
oh my God. I'm like, do I have the energy to go play games with my friends tonight?
Right.
For several hours in a row?
Right.
Much less. Of course, it's named after gym because like it's the gym gays that go to these kinds of things. Absolutely,
that's one of the big stereotypes and criticisms of circuit parties. So there was actually a big. The Wikipedia article says a peak and decline in popularity in the 2000s, and the total number of events got big and then started to decline, and the New York Times again was trying to figure out why, and they determined that at least in part it had to do with competition, that all of these places were starting to try to outdo each other as much as possible, and so instead of having these like concentrations, it really spread out. The market got saturated, basically.
And they cannibalized each other.
Yep. But the decline in attendance was attributed to several factors. The original circuit audience that began attending circuit parties in the 80s and 90s had grown older and no longer had such an active interest in multi-day partying. The experience of AIDS changed in the context of the availability of more effective treatments. And in addition, all gay cruises, which attract upwards of 1,500 passengers at a time, have had a dramatic impact on the attendance at circuit parties.
Huh.
And so since 2010, though, apparently circuit parties have had somewhat of a resurgence. And one of the thoughts about that is actually PrEP has made these big drug and sex fueled parties safer and more attractive. There also is a bunch of work that's being done to, as you were saying, hand out condoms, hand out information, make people aware of safe sex practices, and there are several of these bigger circuit parties that have started to do that in an effort to sort of clean up the image of circuit parties. Anyway, yeah. So that's sort of the history and where we're at. There are now a bunch of circuit parties that have been going on for 30 years.
Wow. And
some of the criticisms, some of the controversies surrounding it are first. Well, you can probably guess what they are. What do you think they are?
That it's just hot white dudes.
Hot white dudes. Bing. There's our cheap bell. Yeah, hot white dudes is definitely a thing. So while open to anyone, the parties are generally viewed as social events primarily for physically fit and masculine identified white gay men. What else?
I mean, you mentioned drugs a bunch.
Drug use is, yep, that's a huge criticism, and the data shows us that there's a lot of drugs happening.
I have some data on this. So
excellent. What else? What do you think?
That unsafe sex.
Unsafe sex is a big one, and absolutely true. And the last one, and the one that I hadn't really considered until doing this, is that they're expensive. That one of the reasons that keeps it white is because the price. There are a lot of circuit parties that are upwards of $400, and that doesn't include travel or lodging. That's just to go to the party.
It's just the ticket,
and then you got to buy your booze and or drugs, and just that it is prohibitively expensive for people that aren't affluent, and most affluence in the queer community is white gay men.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that's what I got so far. Anyway,
you have data? I have some Gata that I'm going to share with you.
Gata.
The classic Gata song.
Yeah.
You know it. You love it. Gata. This is a study.
Gata.
Gata. This is the Circuit Party Men's Health Survey, Findings and Implications for Gay and Bisexual Men by Gordon Mansier, Grant Colfax, Gary Marks, Melissa Rader, Robert Guzman, and Susan Butchbinder.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Butchbinder. Yeah. if you're a trans mass person, you may need a butch binder.
That's true.
Don't wear it all day, though.
Absolutely true.
It's not safe. This came out in 2001, and they surveyed 295 gay and bisexual men from the San Francisco Bay Area who had attended a circuit party in the previous year.
Okay.
Now, one of the reasons that I picked this is because they didn't just have information about sex and drugs. They also had motivations for why people attend circuit parties.
Okay, great.
So I wanted to, like...
Was just like a checkbox that said, because it's fun.
Fun, because you like fun. I mean, kind of. 98% of people said that the reason was to listen to music and dance.
Great.
That's a good reason to attend a circuit party.
I suppose so. Yeah. I mean, you can do that in your kitchen if you want.
That's true. It's much cheaper. I don't have to fly anywhere. 97% said to be with friends.
Great.
You can also do that in your kitchen if you want to. But
yeah. Then you got to feed them.
You got to feed them.
Do the dishes after they leave.
Yeah, that's true. Friends are a burden. You're right, Mike. Don't get new friends. Then we get to
97%, though. That surprises me because I think the implication there then is that almost everyone goes to be with or see friends, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't think of that as being a group activity. But I guess it is.
Yeah.
But I'm not in that scene, so I don't know.
Yeah. It seems like that's a huge part of it because then it steps down to 78%. So like those two are the big reasons why people go. Yeah. 78% to look at or be around beautiful men.
Sure.
72% meet new people, make new friends.
Yeah.
I would think that you'd have like your circuit party friends that are like a separate set of people that you just run into at all these circuit parties.
Yeah, I did read a little bit about there was like a circuit party network, especially in the earlier days of like all of these men from all of these different cities that would see each other the 3 times a year when they were at the same circuit party.
Yeah.
And that they started to like recognize each other and build relationships and friendships. In the days before social media, it was just like we go to the same random ass circuit parties all over the country. So
that happened to me when I was in college. I would like have friends that I would only hang out with when we were going to underage drink.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You know, like we didn't hang out outside of that. We just were like, it was a weekend and we wanted to go underage drink. That was the person we called to figure out if someone could get alcohol or.
I joined a fraternity.
Let's see. 65% said it's a feeling of community.
Yeah. Okay.
You do probably feel pretty gay at a circuit party.
I bet so. Yeah.
I mean, what's gayer than going to a circuit party other than actual anal intercourse?
Yeah. Which happens at some circuit parties.
That might be part of your circuit party plans.
Yeah. Apparently the black party is one that's known for like full on fucking at the party. Anyway, good.
I have some data on that.
Ooh.
57% said get high on drugs.
Sure.
So, you know,
I mean, more than half,
but it's not up there at like, I would expect this to have been much higher. Like as when you think of circuit parties, I think immediately of like hot, annoying dudes going and doing drugs. Like those are what I think of. And so it's not up there as one of the top few reasons that people go. Yeah. So, you know, it's a little bit lower than I expected.
But also more than half.
You're right, more than half. 53% said to feel desirable.
I get that, girl.
What?
Like, it can be validating if you're one of those people.
Yeah, if you're hot and have a nice body, then you're like, here's a venue to show off my hot body. Right. But if you're not one of those, right. I just imagine, we'll talk about it. I've never been, so me neither. I think circuit party is my worst fear. 46% said to escape everyday life. 30% said have sex.
Wow, that surprises me.
Because it's low. Yeah. Do drugs and have sex. Not the top 2 reasons that people are going to this.
Apparently 20-something% are just doing the drugs part.
Just the drugs. Maybe they're not the motivation for attending. Maybe the motivation for attending isn't having sex, but like maybe sex still happens. You know?
That's true.
Only 10%.
Yeah, did they ask what do you do there or why? What do you hope to do there?
Yep. And only 10% said they go to get drunk on alcohol.
How many percent?
10.
Okay. See, this is how I know I don't belong there.
Because
all I want to do is get drunk. And that's not why those people are there.
Yeah. So on to the drugs. Nearly all of the respondents reported using a psychoactive drug during their most recent circuit party weekend.
Nearly all.
Nearly all of them did.
Great.
So, yeah, although it was not a top motivator, it is still nearly everyone that's doing drugs while there. Only 11% consumed alcohol exclusively. Again, this goes to your, like, the point of a party for me is to drink alcohol, not...
I wonder if they're counting that as being psychoactive, though. Like, because...
No. I think they excluded drinking from that.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Among...
And whether they did or not, it's only 11%, so whatever.
Yeah. Among men using drugs, the number of different drugs range from 1 to 7.
Oh, God.
Can you imagine 7?
I don't know if I can name 7 drugs, Kyle.
Wellbutrin, Trintellix. The median was 3. Most men had taken ecstasy or ketamine or both, as well as other substances during the weekend.
Great. Okay.
A median of 3, even 3 drugs is a lot of drugs to be doing at the same time in my mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
GHB and something else is a easy mix. 74% did drugs at the party.
Sure.
And many of them were on the dance floor in the bathroom.
Did the drugs? The drugs part.
The drugs.
Great.
Yeah. So you go and it's not like a pregame drugs thing. 2, 3.
It's a during the game.
Quarter. Yeah, it's a mid-game decision on the fly.
On the field.
On the field, yes. Sports metaphor. It's so good. Doing it goodly. And sex partners. What percentage of respondents reported multiple sex partners during the weekend?
Multiple sex partners? 60.
29%.
Wow.
So, including oral and anal. Which
Great. I do include both, and I do both. 9% had sex at the event. That seems low to me, but okay.
Really? I mean, at the party, it's like...
I mean, I've never been to one. And the image that I have in my head of one is that there's lots of dicks doing lots of things.
Like on the dance floor, though?
Yeah.
Of those 9% that had sex at the event, half of those were on the dance floor.
Great.
And 39% were in a restroom.
Great.
Restroom seems like a better place to go because you can like close the door and not be like in the middle of the dance floor. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like that.
What part of it?
Bathroom sex. Just
I
don't know.
Because you're right by a toilet.
And everything is always so like wet and gross and like potentially stinky and like there's nothing to lay down on. I don't know. It just
Not a hot venue for sex.
Right.
But there's like something risky about it.
That's true.
It's exciting.
That's true. I get that.
Yeah. Let's see. 63% reported seeing condoms. So I think...
I mean, there's condoms right next to the lube in my nightstand. I see them.
I see you, condoms.
They're there.
I see you. And 30% reported taking condoms.
Holding them in their hand and caressing them.
This will make a funny balloon joke while I'm here. Oh, it's like a pool party. You can inflate it. That'd be funny. So I pictured them as, this is, I think, part of why I mentioned the desire to promote safer sex practices is, I imagine them like having condoms, trying to, like you said, like kind of make their image a little bit better.
Yeah. I'm sad about some of the data, Kyle.
What part of it, Mike?
The drugs part.
Oh, about how much drugs they do?
Yeah. I am a naive, sheltered child when it comes to like drugs. Mm-hmm. I've done so few of them. I don't pay attention to like my surroundings much, I guess. I remember how fucking just shocked and appalled I was when somebody asked if they could do cocaine at my house. And like, but there's coke everywhere apparently. Like I'm anyway, so I think I have some like prudish, like judgy hangups about drugs. And so the idea that like in my head circuit parties equal drugs, I was kind of hoping that was false, but it sounds like it's true.
Yeah, that one does seem true. What did I say? Nearly all the respondents reported using a psychoactive drug.
Yeah.
So That part of it does seem to be true. Yeah, I think it's, I mean, just imagine someone that doesn't drink.
Yeah.
Like, they may
You
view...
looked right at Derek.
I did. He's not judgy about it, so I shouldn't have done that. But like...
Yeah, he's not. But people in Los Angeles at the live show get trying to buy him alcohol.
Yeah.
He's not being rude. He just doesn't do that.
Yeah. Taking a swing and a miss on that one. Sorry, don't buy Derek a alcoholic drink. But like, everyone has kind of their lines. Someone may not drink and may be judgmental of people that get drunk and sloppy, like,
Yeah, I get it.
So I just hope that they have someone like that. Would be a good place to have like a doctor on hand to like help with potential overdoses or like risks. Like,
apparently some years at the white party or white parties, they do have doctors and other medical staff, and they wear red tank tops so you can identify them. And I think that's adorable.
That is cute. Well, do you have to be hot as a doctor in order? Because like if you're wearing a tank top,
you would think so. Yeah.
I just picture a certain body type as them giving tank tops out to them.
Yeah.
I don't wear tank tops. Well, that's the Gayda.
Great. Thank you for that.
You're welcome, Mike.
As disappointing as it was for me.
Sorry to disappoint. I mean, I wanted to give, you're right that I want circuit parties to try to give them a benefit of the doubt. The part that most people are there to like hang out with friends and dance, like that was a little bit of a glimmer of hope that, it's not, the point is not, oh, cool, I get to finally do some drugs now. They're probably doing drugs anyway.
Right.
If you're, the point, there's a little bit more of a good, positive reason to go as your motivation than I expected. So that's good.
Yeah.
I was trying to give circuit parties the benefit of the doubt because I have such a negative view of them.
Yeah.
And people that go to them.
Yeah.
And I don't want to because I know it's based on, and having never attended one, it's based on some of these stereotypes, which it sounds like some are true. And I don't know, maybe others aren't.
There's also the academic exercise of like, you want to do drugs and fuck? Great. Go for it. Right? Like why it doesn't have to be for me.
Right.
But I don't have to like judge it either. Right?
Yeah. That's true. I think this is where like promoting safer practices for drug use, including having like doctors on hand on stuff, like that's a great safer method. Or
like sharps containers or
what's that?
Like the things that like you could put your needles in here.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Or like testing things to make sure like there's no fentanyl in your
strips. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are like safer things. I don't know how much of these things these circuit parties do, but that would be.
They must do some because like, I did. Where did that go? I had some data. I know.
You bitch.
I know. That was saying that the number of overdoses has gone down. They think in part because of safety initiatives. Like
that's great.
Doctors and testing and information and. Yeah. So
that's good.
Yeah. You ready? You ready for this?
I'm ready for it.
All right. We're going to play a game called Circuit Party or Laundry Detergent. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to name a thing. You're going to tell me whether it is a brand of laundry detergent or a circuit party. Are you ready for this?
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right. How about...
This is hilarious.
Let's go with Cheer.
Laundry detergent.
Correct.
I'm keeping track of my points.
How about Black and Blue?
Circuit party.
That is a circuit party in Montreal.
Yeah. Oh, what's up, Canada?
Yep. How about Nirma?
Laundry detergent.
That is a laundry detergent. You are correct.
Yeah. I've never heard of that laundry detergent.
How about Daz?
That sounds like Dad's, which sounds like Daddy. So I'm going to go Circuit Party.
That is a brand of laundry detergent.
Oh, Daz?
Yep. How about Blue Ball?
I mean, that just better be a circuit party.
It's a circuit party in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. How about motorball?
I mean, it has ball in it, so unless you're trying to trick me, I'm going to say circuit party.
It's a circuit party in Detroit. How about biz?
I'm going to go laundry detergent.
That is a laundry detergent. Well done, Kyle.
Yeah.
How about cherry pop?
Ooh, I'm going to say circuit party.
That's a circuit party in Washington, D.C.
That sounds like a slutty one.
How about wheel?
Wheel?
Wheel.
Wheel?
Wheel.
Laundry detergent.
That is a detergent.
Ooh.
Brute?
Circuit party.
That is a circuit party in multiple U.S. cities. You're kicking ass, Kyle.
Wow. There's multiple. Brute is popular enough of a name that multiple cities need to have it?
Yep, and the U has an umlaut over it.
Brute.
Brute. Ball and Blanc?
I'm going to say circuit party.
That's a circuit party in Montreal.
Oh, Montreal again.
Yep. Let's see. How about bold?
I'm going to go laundry detergent.
That's a laundry detergent. Arena?
Ooh, that one, I'm not getting any vibes from that. So I'll go laundry detergent.
That is a circuit party in Mexico.
Oh.
And Breeze.
Breeze, laundry detergent.
That is a detergent. You got almost all of them right, Kyle. You only missed 2.
I only missed 2.
You are very good at circuit parties and or laundry detergents.
This is a hilarious concept, and I love it so much. I only wanted this podcast to be laundry detergent or circuit party.
Okay.
That's just what every episode is going to be from here on out.
You're super good at it.
Mostly because I'm good at it, also because it's really funny.
Yeah.
Should I tell you what I found on Reddit?
Yeah. What did you find on Reddit?
Let's ask Reddit. 2 questions that I want to talk about. One is, are circuit parties all just about sex?
No. Apparently they're about drugs.
Apparently they're about drugs, folks. Come on. So one of the responses was sex and drugs.
Great.
So someone else said that they're honestly what you make of them. Yes, the guys are usually significantly hotter and wear more revealing clothing. Yes, there's a fuck ton of ecstasy plus coke plus G being done. Maybe that's the combination of 3. I said there was a median of 3. Ecstasy, coke, and G.
Okay, great. I wouldn't know what ratios to use or when to take them or in what order. And backing up to like hot dudes not wearing very much. There's a quote. Scott Larson, who manages a sports medicine center in Los Angeles, said, quote, "Circuit parties are just an excuse for guys to check out the latest in men's underwear."
Seems about right.
Yep.
I wonder how it feels to go there with like a non-gym body. Like,
it probably depends on the circuit party. Like, yeah. I think that some circuit parties cater to different audiences. There are some that would be better than others, I think.
Yeah.
Like there are some circuit parties that apparently have a bunch of dudes like in their 50s and 60s that go.
That's awesome.
And that doesn't mean that they don't have gym bods, but it means that they are more likely, I think, to not have perfect bods.
Or like the idea is like you're in your 20s or 30s and, have that. Another answer to our circuit party is just about sex. Got invited to 3 orgies after, though.
Great.
And this, we were talking about friends. Someone said there's a difference between actual friends who you can depend on and friends you make while drunk partying your tits off, who you literally will not see or hear from until the next time you run into each other. Yeah. Both are valid TBH. And I think that's true. Like, I think it's fine to have your drunk party friends. Like, there's... all friends don't have to be personal, close, best friends for them to have a useful function and valid kind of friendship.
Yeah, I think of my friendships and relationships as being like an onion, right? Like you've got the core innermost layer, but there's layers of different quality and investment that are valid for different reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a hard time with like friends that I've been bad at keeping up with. I always feel guilty about that.
Oh, I mean,
I know
they're not doing a great job of keeping up with you either. Then
I guess not.
Right?
That's just life that I need to get over.
Yeah.
That people you don't keep in touch with every single person.
Yeah. God, I need to call my dad.
Do you want to do it now on the air?
No.
Let's hear that conversation, Mike.
Oh, Jesus.
Someone else asked what to expect at a gay circuit party.
Drugs. Music.
Sex. Dancing.
Sex.
So this one said, I've only been to 2.
Laundry detergent.
Oh no, I accidentally showed up to a laundry detergent.
Foam. Bubbles.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, toss that in the pool.
Great.
Splish splash. Don't drink that water. Only been to 2, so not an expert.
I mean, don't drink the water in the pool at a gay anything.
That's very true. That's a thick stew right there.
Oh.
Only been to 2, so not an expert, but my advice as a young black guy is this. 1, the atmosphere can be fun, but mainly house EDM or sometimes techno feel. Wear something open. Don't worry about whether you have a hot boy summer body. Just make sure you're something in something light and breathable because it can get hot as fuck.
Great.
That kind of makes sense, even though I would never do that.
You could wear a skirt, Kyle.
That's true.
Breezy. You've mentioned that is like a refreshing feeling.
It's so nice to feel the breeze on your underpants. 3, I haven't been to one that includes drinks in the price. It'll be cheaper to buy beforehand and pregame. The drinks there are wildly expensive. So let's see. You may want to bring water because it's easy to get dehydrated.
Mm-hmm.
And number 4, pack spare condoms or make sure to start prep a week before because there will be a decent amount of people looking for sex on the dance floor.
Hold, please. I don't think that's how prep is supposed to work. I don't think starting and stopping prep like on your own, unless that's what your doctor is saying to do, that's not great.
But don't you like start prep? Isn't it 2 weeks that it takes to be effective?
This conversation is illustrating the point, Kyle. Like I don't know. I think that you're right. I think that it takes a while for it to get to maximum efficacy. I also don't know if starting and stopping is approved or allowed. Like it might be bad.
Well, you can do the PEP, use it as PEP.
You can use it as PEP. That's true.
So anyway, do whatever your doctor recommends, but get on your prep beforehand so that you can have sex there.
I guess we should do the more you know rainbow moment of
sure.
Like PEP is post-exposure prophylaxis. So PrEP is pre-exposure prophylaxis, so that you take it every day, and that prevents you from getting seroconverting if you are exposed. And then post-exposure prophylaxis is you have had an exposure of some kind, but you weren't on PrEP, so you take a larger dose of PrEP medications after the fact to prevent it.
Yeah. And usually you want to start your PEP within 72 hours of exposure. So like this is one of those things where you need to be like, you go to an ER or urgent care or something to get a doctor to prescribe it right away.
Yeah. To make a pregnancy, to make it about pregnancy, like, well, PrEP is like being on the pill and PEP is like the morning after pill.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I think that's a great way of thinking about it. Yeah.
Also, like, not a fetus.
Not a fetus, not even a little bit, but it's a good metaphor.
Yeah, great.
Why have you not been to a circuit party ever, Mike?
Well, first, I've not been invited. I don't think I have a lot of friends who are in that kind of a scene. I don't think I would want to go by myself, in part because of my like weird negative judgy feelings about them and what goes on there. In fact, I'm going through the exercise now of thinking if I were to be invited to one, if somebody was like, hey, Mike, I want to go to Decadence, I don't know. Would I? Probably. But probably last year when I felt better about my body.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, I've not been invited, but I also don't have friends that go.
Yeah.
So it's not like I feel like some group of friends are just like, they go to all of these kinds of events and it's just part of their friendship group. So I just don't have circuit party friends.
Yeah.
I don't think I even know anyone who would be like the circuit party type of gay. I feel like that, like, this is a type of gay, is the circuit party gay.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm a friend
Circuit queens, right? That's the name.
Yeah. If I were invited, I probably would not go to one.
Yeah.
I would just I think I already feel uncomfortable about my body, much less in a room full of shirtless dudes that all have great gym bodies. I think it would be a recipe for making me feel really bad about myself. Maybe you're right that maybe there are variety parties. Maybe if there was like a more like a bear party or a like we're regular human kind of circuit party. I don't know if any of them are known for that, but if there was one that was like, what?
The Gayish, we're going to start a circuit party called Regular Human.
Regular. Come on down to Regular Human, where you don't have to have a gym body just to fit in. Yeah. You can fit in just the way you are. Come on, regular body.
Regular Human Ball.
Regular Human, the Regular Human Ball, and tickets are $20.
Yeah. You don't get anything.
You get nothing for that. You just get the privilege of being there. And then drinks are $100 each. Bring your own drugs. BYOD.
Yep.
I don't know. I have said, like, I think circuit parties are my worst nightmare. Being in that kind of environment. I judge myself based on how I look and compare myself to other people just walking down the street, just being at a gay bar, like looking at Instagram. You know, these I feel like are also like Instagram gays too, you know, like that feels like there's an overlap between those.
Yep.
And I feel a little bit bad that I have this judgment of circuit parties, but I don't know. Maybe people are...
Why do you think you feel bad?
Because maybe they're super accepting and maybe they don't care. And maybe even though they have hot bodies, they don't care if everyone has the same kind of body. And maybe some people will like the way I look just fine. And I'm being too, you know, and my judgment of them is really just a judgment of myself and not actually a judgment of the circuit party itself. So it's hard to unpack what's the circuit party and what's just me and my own feelings about myself.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Someone on Instagram, did you see this comment posted? Like the one on the left, which was me. He's actually kind of cute. The way he described himself, I thought he was like big and gross.
Yeah.
So cool. Thanks. Thanks for that comment. Appreciate it that I'm not as big and gross as I make myself out to be.
Oh, you're definitely not, just so you know.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Also, I don't like loud noises. I don't like, my personal definition of hell would be not being able to have a conversation with people. Those friends that you go to a circuit party with, I would want to talk to them and not have to yell, goddamn. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's just like we're a certain age where going to loud clubs just are so less appealing than it used to be at one point in my life.
Yeah.
I hate that, just yelling over music, trying to say anything. And I don't really like go out and dance anymore.
Right.
Like I used to do that. Like that made a little bit more sense when you would just, I'm going to pound some alcohol and then go on the dance floor and dance.
Yep.
Like that kind of club environment makes more sense then.
Yep, absolutely. Did we do it?
Yeah, we did something.
We talked about circuit parties?
We talked about circuit parties. Sorry if you're a circuit party gay. Sorry if we judged you.
Let us know. Let us know what we got wrong.
Yeah.
I love hate mail.
Yeah, send it to Mike.
Yeah, send it to me.
Care of Mike Johnson.
Should we take a circuit break?
Circuit break.
Circuit breaker.
Circuit breaker. Combo breaker.
Let's take a break.
This is the part where Mike and Kyle take a break.
So are we back?
We're back.
We're back.
We're going to do our Gayest and Straightest.
We're going to do our Gayest and Straightest, but first.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, friends.
Listen up, you dirty fuckers.
Beautiful people.
You shut up. Don't listen to Kyle. You're bad, terrible, awful people, and your only potential path to redemption is to buy tickets for our Houston show.
Our Houston show. It's our last show. It is on October 15th. It is at noon at Kiki in Montrose. We're really excited about it. So I hope you come out. I hope you come from Dallas. I hope you come from Austin. I hope you come out to see us.
And if you don't, I will never speak to you again.
Yeah.
Forever. No.
That'll make doing this podcast very challenging. So you have to come out and see us. We would love to see you there.
That's right.
Go to gayishpodcast.com/live.
Yes. Do it right now. Fuckers. Local gay bar review.
Ooh.
Hooray.
Hooray.
I'm going to talk to you about this adorable place called Cranberry.
Cranberry.
In Zurich, Switzerland. It was adorable. Fun, flirty bartenders, which, like, there was no language barrier in Switzerland, basically. It's just, like, that's a part of the world where, like, everybody speaks, like, 8 languages. It's adorable, but also kind of annoying because, like, all I wanted to do was practice my German, and, like, nobody was having that. Was there with Marcy and Sarah when I was traveling for work. And when we got to Zurich, there was actually a Zurich Fest going on, which is this every 3 years, the city of Zurich shuts down and turns into a festival along the river. And we just happened, we did not plan it or time it or even know. Zurich Fest was happening when we got there. So they didn't have any seating and they had a limited menu. So I didn't really get the full Cranberry experience. But what I did do there, I very much enjoyed 3 dildos.
3 dildos. Yeah. Good place to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should we do our contact info?
Okay. Our website is gayishpodcast.com.
We are on socials on Instagram at Gayish Podcast.
Our hotline, you can send us text messages or leave us voicemails, is 5855-GAYISH. That's 585-542-9474. Standard rates apply.
Our email is gayishpodcast@gmail.com.
And our physical mailing address is Post Office Box 19882, Seattle, Washington, 98109. Gayest and Straightest.
Gayest and Straightest.
You go.
Okay. My Gayest is listening to the new Kim Petras album. What? Gay. That's pretty gay. The song that was just playing before we started recording was Treat Me Like a Hoe.
Well,
so there you go.
I try my best.
Thanks, honey. My Straightest is not showering or doing my hair all weekend.
Boy. That was going to be mine.
Oh, sorry. I'm glad I got in there first. It could be yours too. We can both be straight in the same way.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, the gayest thing about me this week is I wore my Your Bullshit is Bullshit shirt accidentally to a work meeting. So I had to explain to somebody the whole, like, oh, it's a thing that I say on the podcast, blah, blah, blah. But, like, just, yeah.
Whoops.
I have a shirt that says Your Bullshit is Bullshit, that my gay ass podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway, the straightest thing about me this week is last night, drunk Mike thought it would be a good idea to just pour hot sauce in his mouth. You remember that?
No.
You were there.
I don't remember you doing that.
I was like,
oh, is that when I put it on my pizza?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And you were like, what are you doing? I was like, I just tasting it, I guess. I don't know. But it just feels like pouring hot sauce in your mouth is like a straight guy.
Yeah. It's like someone dared you at a frat party.
Yep. Okay, and now a listener's Gayest and Straightest. This week we have a voicemail, which I keep telling y'all, if you want to get yours on the air, the best thing to do is send us a voicemail because we will probably play it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to try this again. Hello there, fucking Kyle. Please disregard the last message I sent to you because I messed it up completely and then I didn't know how to restart. So, anyway, I was going to submit me a Gayest and Straightest, and I don't know if I said my name. This is Brandon Pettigrew. You're a little Discord person and the happy black man that people usually see every once in a while doing stuff. But my Gayest this week is my boyfriend of 8 years proposed to me last night, and yeah, so that was pretty great. And so now I'm an engaged little man doing things, so I'm going to try to be happy and stuff. Now, my Straightest also is involved with this engagement as well because I got engaged in the middle of us laying in bed watching Silent Library. So if you ever watched MTV back in the early 2000s, Silent Library was just a jam. And he's never seen the show before, so I introduced it to him. And so, yeah, and you've seen that show. It's pretty straight. So, yeah, so that was my things. And thank y'all for listening. And, yeah, and happy 350th whenever that comes up. I'll try to be there for the live stream. Huzzah. Goodbye.
Brandon Pettigrew, you're adorable. Thank you for being adorable.
Thanks, Brandon.
And congratulations on the engagement. That's fucking beautiful.
That's amazing.
wish,
congrats.
I wish when we all had drinks together in Seattle that we could have known that was the future you're going to have, because maybe I would have tried harder. No, I don't know.
Yeah, let us know if you're going to had gotten engaged in the future.
Yeah.
So that we know whether to care about your significant other.
Right. I guess that's it. We did it.
Yeah.
Thank you to all the circuit queens.
Yeah. Sorry for this episode. I hope we didn't screw it up or say things that were untrue.
And thank you to that Scott Larson person who said that circuit parties were about men's underwear. And thank you to everybody that listens.
And thank you to underwear.
Thank you, underwear.
Thank you, underwear. Uncredited for so much achievements.
The unthong hero.
Yeah. Okay. And also, I want to thank the following Super Gap Bridgers: Kit Oliver, Andrew Bugby, William Bryant, Christopher M., John Crowley, Stephen Porch, Yost Osel, Harry Shaw, Josh Copeland, Jonathan Montañez, Wadu, Forrest Snail, Patrick Martin, James Barrow, Steve Douglas, Explosive Zanya, Michael Cubbington, Just Jamie, Kevin Henderson, Thomas B., Timothy Sora, Dusty Sands, A.E. Coleman, Chris Cacciatorians, and Jerome York. Thank you for your support.
Thank you for your money. That is it. This has been Gayish from the Chris Cacciatore Studios. I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Getz. Until next week, be butch, be fabulous, be you. See ya.
See you next week. Fuck boys get money.
Fuck boys get money.
Is that fuck boys get money, or two separate activities that I'm going to participate in? I'm going to fuck boys and I'm going to get money.
Or is it fuck boys get money?
Yeah. This is it's deep.
It's deep. So many layers.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Kyle.